Construction contracts, time. Introduction. The key to managing construction contracts successfully is understanding the principles of time, cost, and quality. In construction, time management becomes the focus of ensuring that the project's tasks and obligations are fulfilled on schedule, with minimal delays. Contracts specify deadlines for each party and outline consequences for non-compliance. Effective time management protects against costs associated with delays and helps keep all parties accountable. The role of the architect is crucial in time management. The architect serves as an impartial overseer, ensuring that all time provisions are followed and addressing any issues that arise in relation to delays and extensions. By maintaining a vigilant eye over time-related requirements, architects ensure that projects progress as intended, keeping quality and cost considerations balanced. Detailed explanation of key time-related concepts. 1. Practical completion. Practical completion is one of the most critical milestones in a construction project. It marks the point at which the building is complete enough for it to be used for its intended purpose, although minor defects may still exist. There are a few key aspects that help define practical completion. Completion to a satisfactory standard. While the building may not be entirely free of defects, it must be sufficiently complete for its intended use. Typically, only minor items or defects remain at this stage. Testing and commissioning. All essential testing and commissioning work should be completed to ensure that systems function as intended. This includes tasks like electrical and plumbing tests. Required approvals. The appropriate legal approvals for occupying the building, such as occupancy permits, should be in place. The difference between the date for practical completion and the date of practical completion is important. The date for practical completion is the deadline set in the contract. The date of practical completion is the actual date the contractor achieves practical completion. Practical completion is a significant milestone triggering important contractual actions such as end of contractor's site possession. The contractor relinquishes control over the site. Start of defects liability period. A defined period starts where the contractor is required to fix any remaining issues. Release of security. Typically, part of the financial security withheld by the client is released to the contractor. The architect's role involves verifying whether practical completion has been reached, issuing notices to the contractor, and ensuring that the necessary approvals and inspections are carried out independently. 2. Extensions of time. Extensions of time are provisions within a construction contract that allow the contractor more time to complete the work if certain delays occur that are beyond their control. These provisions are essential for maintaining fairness and balance between the parties involved. Qualifying cause of delay. A qualifying cause of delay refers to an event that entitles the contractor to an EOT. Common qualifying causes include inclement weather, unforeseen weather conditions that significantly impact the progress of work, variations issued by the principal, instructions from the client to alter the scope of work, delays in site possession, situations where the principal fails to give the contractor timely access to the site. Contractual notice requirements. For an EOT claim to be valid, contractors must comply strictly with notice requirements stipulated in the contract. This typically includes written notice. Contractors must notify the architect of delay and provide an estimate of how it impacts the project schedule. Specified timeframes. Often, notices must be served within a few days of the contractor becoming aware of the delay. Architects play a key role in evaluating and either granting or rejecting claims for EOT. If these claims are improperly handled, or if notice requirements are not adhered to, the contractor may be prevented from claiming extensions, and the principal may lose their right to enforce liquidated damages. 3. Critical path. The critical path is the sequence of construction activities that must be completed on schedule for the entire project to remain on track. It is the shortest path to completing the project, and any delay to activities on the critical path will directly impact the overall completion date. Managing the critical path is crucial. Proactive management. Architects must closely monitor activities on the critical path to identify delays early and take corrective actions. Failure to do so can lead to increased costs, delays in completion, and the imposition of penalties. Interdependencies. Delays in one critical activity can create a domino effect, delaying subsequent activities and potentially jeopardizing the project's timeline. Architects must be proactive and responsive to mitigate risks to the critical path, as contractors may also issue claims if delays outside their control impact these activities. 4. Liquidated damages versus penalties. Liquidated damages are predetermined amounts specified in the contract, payable by the contractor if they fail to meet the agreed completion date. These damages provide certainty for both the client and the contractor and help avoid lengthy legal disputes over the value of delays. Key features of liquidated damages. Pre-estimate of loss. Liquidated damages should represent a genuine estimate of the loss that the client would incur due to delays. Certainty. By pre-agreeing to these amounts, both parties have clarity about their obligations and can manage risks accordingly. If a liquidated damages clause is deemed to be excessively punitive rather than compensatory, a court may classify it as a penalty, making it unenforceable. The distinction is that liquidated damages aim to cover losses and reflect a genuine pre-estimate. Penalties aim to punish, which the law typically does not enforce. The architect's role includes notifying the client when the project reaches practical completion or when delays result in liquidated damages being applicable. This ensures that the client can exercise their rights promptly. 5. Defects liability period. The defects liability period starts at practical completion and generally lasts for 12 to 24 months. During this period, the contractor is responsible for rectifying defects identified by the architect. The architect issues instructions to the contractor, who must complete the rectification within a set time frame. Key aspects of the defects liability period. Controlled rectification. The contractor is given the first opportunity to correct any defects, which is typically more cost-effective since they are familiar with the project and the work performed. Issuance of final certificate. After the defects liability period, the architect issues a final certificate that often triggers the release of any remaining security to the contractor. The defects liability period provides a structured way for clients to ensure that the work meets quality expectations without unfairly burdening the contractor for minor imperfections beyond. Practical completion. Summary. Time management in construction contracts. Managing time effectively is a cornerstone of successful construction projects. The architect, as a contract administrator, plays a pivotal role in overseeing the timeline of a project, managing practical completion, assessing claims for extensions, and ensuring that contractual obligations are met without delay. Understanding the principles of practical completion, critical path, extensions of time, liquidated damages, and the defects liability period allows architects to facilitate a balanced and fair approach to contract administration. This not only serves the interests of the client, but also ensures a fair and professional relationship with contractors, mitigating disputes and ensuring project success.